Hi, this is an introduction to the dark art of unpicking. So you want to knit, but you've been to the shop and you've seen that wool is like $7 for 50 gram ball, and you need, how many? Maybe 16 50 gram balls of wool to knit a big jumper. Knitting smaller items is easy if you can find home knitted items in your local op shop. You just need to be careful with what you select, and I'm going to show you how to do all of that. So first you have to select your jumper. You want a hand knitted homemade jumper. You can tell because it doesn't have a label and it has home knitted stitches, and you want to have wool, not acrylic, which is a bit tricky, but in this case I can see that the wool is of a type that you used to get many moons ago. I can't remember the name of it now, but where the wool is like woven in pieces rather than twisted. Crepe, that's what it's called. So I knew that I can see that the wool is crepe because it's got it's the particular way that the yarn has been put together, like a plait. Once you've found your item, try not to choose one that's quite as matted as this. This is like a little bit felted, and I'm having difficulty with under the arms, for example, where the wool has actually felted together. You can't really unpick that stuff, so I'm having to cut that out. So get your jumper, don't wash it or anything, just take it home, and you need to identify all the seams. So you look for the side seams, the seams for the arms, and then you're going to pick away at it. Here there's a 2x2 rib, and in between, this is where it's been sewn together. So you cut the sewn threads as you go up. Now in this case it's been done with a blanket stitch, which is very tricky, but you're looking for the pieces of thread that go sideways, that are the thread that's been used to put the jumper together. So you get your scissors and cut the horizontal threads there, and then it will start to unravel. You pull and cut and pull and cut until you've got the piece undone, like so. And then any ribbing, you're just going to cut that off. Chip, chip, chop, 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 chop all the way around. And you always unpick the knitting from the top, unless it's been knitted from the top down. But most older style jumpers, and especially grannies or what have you, always knit in a very traditional way, and they knit from the rib up. And so you're going to unpick it from the top down. So cut off the ribbing. So where were we before we were interrupted? I'll cut off the ribbing, and you're left with this cut top bit with a few little stray bits which you're going to pick off, and you're looking for the loops of the knitting. So here at the very top, once I've cut this off, I'm going to look for the loops of knitting and just pull off the cut bits until you have a row that looks like this, where you can actually see the stitches that have been on the needle. So you start pulling at that from the top. I'll try and get sorted here. Dun, da, da, dun, da, da. And just unpick it and wind it around a chair. Then tie each of the bunches 4 times and then take it off, and then you're going to wash it. Well, not wash it, you're going to soak it to get the bumps out, because when it comes off the needle, it's all in stitch shapes. So you want to get rid of that, so you've got a smooth piece of yarn to knit with. So you soak it in a bucket of water, warmish water with wool wash. Then drain that out and rinse it, and hang the hanks somewhere to dry, or lay them out flat in front of a fire or something to dry off. When you've done that, you can wind it into balls, and you have a whole heap of wool. Now, it's not as cheap as it sounds, because actually picking up jumpers like this is now between 10 and 20 bucks, and maybe a bit more if you've bought them on Trade Me. But you'll get enough wool out of a jumper like this to make a jumper for a child, which is all well and good. Any problems, just give me a yell and I will answer your queries.